Well, we had a bit of a fail on our first burn. Something wasn't completely dry, obviously, and it started to buckle all the cement on the inside. A little bit of the bottom stayed pretty solid, but I picked a lot of it away, and then the whole top popped out. I made it way too thick, so it's all fell out. I read the can a little better, and you're only supposed to put this high temperature cement up to an 1/8 inch thick. So that was a fail. I think it's still wet even after the burn. You can see where I was saying the inside started to buckle. You can see this is what happened to the whole inside of it. And I started poking at those, and they'd just fall apart. So when I poked at them and they fell apart, those little bubbly things, I decided that all that stuff had fallen down in the bottom of my casting furnace here, my foundry. So I turned it upside down to try and pour all that out, and as I turned it upside down, this whole thing just popped right out. So it's not even solid yet after all that. So you can see it's still just soft in the center. Yeah, I can push on it right there, and it's super soft. So you can see I'm forming my fingerprint in it. It wasn't going to dry for a long time to come with that much thickness. So that was a waste of an attempt. We're going to toss that, and we're going to work on finishing up the rest of the foundry with some. Actually, it pulled out a lot of the perlite when it came out. I don't know. I saved it. I don't know if I'll use it again or if I'll just make new perlite. I don't think it actually ruined it, but nonetheless, the lid held up better. It had a bit of a burn over here and a bit of a crackling over here and stuff. This is not very thick. I left this pretty thin. What I am doing, trying to keep the lid from overheating right now, as it's still drying, is I'm using a piece of carbon felt. It also kept the unevenness of this. I got a little pop bubble right there, which I pop. It'll probably fall apart, but it's keeping the uneven of this to let keep all the air from just leaking out the sides and come out the hole. I did put in a canister, stainless steel canister, just to see how it would burn, and it did okay. You know, nothing special. Where the heat was actually hitting it, it looks like it kind of arced. Sorry, it looks like it kind of arced a little bit there on itself, so I don't know if these will work. They're pretty solid cans. Of course, it's still a hole. I got to cut the top off. I got a couple of those for $3 at the Pottery Barn, I think it was. Oh, Old Time Pottery, sorry. But the good news is, even though I had a lot of trouble with that, and I got to patch that all up, the good news is my burner worked beautifully. It was throwing blue flames. 10, 12 inches when I had it out of there, and it was circling around that canister, that crucible canister I have there, pretty good. And I don't have a good view of it here, but let me just grab it real quick and throw it up on the bench here so you guys can see what I have here. Hold on a second, I'm going to turn this off and turn it back on. Okay, we're going to start at the business end. This is a 1 to 1/4 inch adapter that I just screwed on here to kind of help with the end of the flame, and it holds it in the. I put this in the crucible, and then I screw this on, and that little edge helps guide the flame out a little better, I think. Kind of looking like a flared end. In the end, let's see if I got enough light here. Probably not. I took a piece of stainless steel and drilled some holes in it and pushed it in there. I oversized it a little bit, and then I pushed it down in there, and then I came in from the other side with a broom handle and just smashed it down flat so that it was nice and tight in there. And that thing was glowing red hot. I mean, it was just a solid piece of red, orangish red, when it was burning in the crucible and it was going around. When it was done, I turned everything off. This thing was solid red. I mean, there wasn't a drop of any other color on it, just a solid piece of red. So I know heat was traveling pretty good if that got that red. This was outside the crucible, right about here, I guess. I'm sorry, outside the foundry. And I could touch back here while it was burning. This was burning hot red. I could touch back here. Wasn't hot at all. Okay, here's my tank. And I put a gauge, a pressure gauge on this. So it doesn't have the light's horrible. Let me try and block some of that sunlight. So it doesn't have a lot of pressure to it. It's only a 30 psi gauge here, and I don't even know how these things work over here on this side. It's supposed to tell you how much fuel you have left in something or how much pressure's left. Well, I don't think that even matters when you're dealing with a little tank like this. This is made for a bigger tank, I'm sure. So I can, let's see, I'll close I can open and close right here, and then I can open and close back at the main tank. And you can see last night I was running at 15 psi, although I just did move that around a little bit, so you can see I can change that. Now, obviously, once you have it open, you got to release it, but there's nowhere for the gas to go right now. So let me close that back up so we're not wasting gas over here and letting it leak. So then I ran out here. I've got a couple adapters here, and then I run into my quick disconnect right here for the gas.